Hi everyone! You may know from the news that we had an earthquake in Izmir, another big city of Turkey. Actually, the earthquake center was Samosa Island. It's a Greek island which is very close to Izmir. Two of the Greek citizens, they also died, and we send as a nation our love and condolences to their loved ones and hope they rest in peace. In Turkey, over 100 people are announced dead by now, but there are still some people under the rebels, and there are thousands of people whose homes are tossed down, and again thousands of houses which are damaged so badly that they cannot live in there anymore. So we're deeply sad, and we're trying to do materially and emotionally all that we can. And as you know, this earthquake came on top of a COVID crisis, on top of a very big economical crisis in Turkey. But I and we as a team find our solitude and feel this bigger existence by doing what we love. So we're going to continue our videos and share what we have, and all the money that is collected are going to go to these people and the families that need it right now in Izmir. You can support us by watching videos and sharing our videos, and thank you for that. Normally last week we had prepared a video of how everything started, how I turned from a person working in a hospital to a person working in the kitchen. But I want to keep that story for later on. But I want to share you the recipe that started everything. And it's called Kadayif Manti. It's a signature Refika dish, taking the wonderful Kadayif that are used in künefes, which is not salty or sweet, and used as the dough of this traditional mantı making. Taking that technique, taking the dough out and using kadayif for it, and have other Refika touches. Hope you enjoy the recipe, and if you can find kadayif, please make it at home because it's wonderful. Guys, this is our first shoot in our kitchen, by the way, so God bless it. Hope it brings bereket to us and to you guys. Now, the kadayif recipe consists of 3 layers actually. One, the kadayif mantı, the round thing, and it's filling. The other one is yogurt, and it's tomato sauce. When we prepare 3 of them together, we get the recipe. First, we start with the filling, which is the köfte inside. In here, I have 200 grams of ground beef. You can use any kind of beef. If you're a vegetarian, and I know we have a lot of vegetarian followers, you can use mushrooms with a bit of
Garlic, parsley.
yes, all those, and we need a bit of breadcrumbs to take the water away. And to make it more meaty taste, even for the meat as well, we add 1 teaspoon of cumin, which is a lot, but it changes the taste a lot. A bit of salt and black pepper, 1/4 of a nutmeg. If you don't have nutmeg, you can use other spices such as 5 spice, allspice, yeni bahar in Turkish, new spice. Probably it came a little later to the Ottoman Empire. 1/2 teaspoon. The Turkish köftes are different in terms of it has lots of herbs to increase the flavor of the meat and make it something else. To this, I'm going to add also a bit of freshness, 5-6 sprigs of parsley. If you have coriander, it will also be very good. But for more traditional, it's parsley. So I finely chop it and add it to here. And for the flavors to pass easier, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. What I'm doing is I am pushing with my fist, so kind of physically putting the flavors into one another. I know this is not Western at all. I believe it's something to do with collectivism and individualism. Like, more individualistic societies use less ingredients and make one thing more available. Let's say Italians for a pasta. Pasta is the prima donna with cheese or some few things. But in Turkey, it's a mixture of lots of herbs and things, and it becomes something rather different than any of the ingredients that are inside the dish. It's same for the people, and I think it comes from a cultural thing. So I've kneaded this for a minute and a half. I'll let it sit for 2-3 minutes for the flavors again to work. Clean my hands and then pass to the yogurt. In Turkey, we eat our mantis, especially if no strangers is coming. We do it with garlic. And raw garlic, as you know, is very healthy and plus changes the taste to a different level. I have 2 cloves of garlic.
But don't eat garlic and kiss someone.
Or, no, make them eat it too and then you can kiss. Now it's very seasonal, so the garlic is very strong. I'm just going to add 1 to tell you the truth. Normally, if you're watching this on a springtime or summer, you can add 2. As the garlic dries, the flavor increases, interestingly. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm trying to make a puree out of this. And I'm going to add, these are Refika tablespoons, 5 tablespoons of yogurt. What we should do is to mix the yogurt first to make it creamier. We add the garlic. I added a bit of salt, but I'm going to increase it a bit more. I'm going to add a bit of pepper. And normally, this is not very usual for the Turkish recipes, but what pepper does to the yogurt, you know, when you eat yogurt, you get relaxed. If kids don't sleep well or someone is under stress and not sleeping well, everyone suggests that person to eat yogurt before they go to sleep. But what pepper does is the opposite. So in a way, it kind of balances and the taste together is really good. And always taste it. So the yogurt is also ready. We pass to the sauce. I have a tablespoon of butter, and to that I add also a tablespoon of olive oil. To it, I'm going to add a heaped teaspoon of pepper paste. If you don't have pepper paste, it's not the end of the world, it's okay. And to this, I'm adding tomato puree. I guess it's called passata in many parts of the world. It's 125 milligrams, almost half a glass. And to it, some more herbs. Red pepper, if you have, some salt, not so much, and black pepper. And these are from my garden in the atelier, some fresh thyme. Now, the sauce, when it boils, is ready. So the yogurt, the sauce, and the meat is ready. Now, we're ready to give the shape of the kadayif mantis. Now, I have my kadayifs here. I know from Tasty and other videos, you can find kadayif now in many parts of US, many parts in UK and Germany as well. We need the fresh kadayif like this. This is like angel hair. I'm going to put this in a layer like that. Kadayif making is interesting. Kadayif is, when you taste it, it's just dough, water, poured slowly on a copper pan, which is going around. So these like thin layers are constructed and then immediately collected. Usually this is for the dessert, so it's not salty. We have to add the salt. I am putting the kadayif in thin layers like this. I've used almost 1/3 of it right now. And I'm always putting a damp cloth because kadayif gets dry very fast. And now I'm going to make it like a sausage. And good köfte, when you smell it, it should smell tasty. And now, as you can see, my hands are oily and I want this oil to pass to kadayif. What I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap it like this. And cut this excess parts. And then about 2 centimeters thick walnut-like pieces. And I'm going to add it to a tray. It could be an oven tray, or if you have something round and cool, you can use it. I'm just going to put some olive oil to the bottom and also oil my hands like this. And make this round. And then put it in the middle like this. This is like a 10-15 minute version of the manti. Normally manti is at least an hour's work of fine craftsmanship. The dough is very thinly opened and then small minced meat with salt and pepper is put in the middle and wrapped into small pieces of manti. Actually, almost everywhere in the world there's a type of manti. Dim sum. Dumplings are also a type of manti. Ravioli is a manti. Every culture has a version of it. But what I did, kadayif was normally used as a dessert. It's an incredible ingredient. But as we're eating less desserts, kadayif craftsmanship is a very valuable one and it was dying. So I said, why not use this instead of a dough and make a 10-minute version? I'm pushing with my hands on the sides and make it round like this and put it on the tray. So they become like a round dome-like thing. If, for example, in this one, I have cut small pieces. There were the pieces that I have cut. I'm adding some more of it and putting in the middle of my palm and making it round and wrap it. So I also use the extra and it looks more like a ball. So this is a Refika version, an easy and a very tasty version of Manti, but hope one day we make some Turkish versions of Manti as well. But trust me, this is developed from the thousands years of experience of these lands and naughty girls' imagination. So I continue with the rest and do everything again. Now, I have one last thing to do, and here I have a chickpea. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this chickpea in the middle. So if you're going to do this for a Halloween and there are gifts, you can put a gift. If you want kids to eat the food that are kind of unfamiliar to them, you can have a reward and say that anyone who gets the chickpea has a wish or a reward. And this is also going to do for people like Bahar who eat fast because this is going to cook in 5 to 10 minutes. The chickpea won't get cooked, so in one of them there's going to be something that is hard to bite. So each bite should be slow and at its taste. This also helps to guarantee that. So we are ready. All these left with some kadayif. You can put it also into the oven and toast it and use this as a topping for a salad or a soup. It becomes very nice. I'm also going to eat it that way. Never throw it away. Or if you don't want to bother, put it on top of a newspaper and give it to the birds maybe in front of your window. The oven, I haven't started it yet. I'm going to use the grill in 230 degrees Celsius. In 5 minutes, the tops are going to be cooked, and then I'm going to turn it so the bottoms are cooked, and in 10 minutes, it's going to be ready. I'm putting it onto the highest rack and without the fan. If it's with the fan on, it's going to dry the kadayif. We don't want that. It's very important. And I'm also putting the leftover kadayif in the middle so that it gets dry and crunchy and it will be very nice. Smells wonderful, and now I'm going to turn them all. You can even take it out, turn it here slowly. It just took 4 to 5 minutes to become like this. I've turned all of it. You can even use your hands, and then I'm putting it back. I want to add something. Depending on the oven, the performance changes. So if it's too fastly burning your kadayifs in 1 minute, 2 minutes, you can put it into one lower rack so that the meat cooks and everything cooks. So totally in 8 to 10 minutes, it should be over. Okay. Da-da-da-dam. It's ready in 10 minutes. We are gonna add the yogurt. Don't forget the yogurt should be warm. Don't put it in the refrigerator so that it doesn't cool down the whole thing. And when you're just gonna eat, just drizzle it like this. Don't try to cover everything. Just like put some chunks, especially to the empty parts of the plate as well. Don't try to be orderly. The thing is, the messier it looks, the more beautiful it is. My warm sauce is here and I'm also gonna put, it smells so nice. Don't try to put it on top of the one because it will decrease its crunchiness. I also still have some more oregano fresh ones. If you do have the fresh ones, use it. If you don't, you can use some dried ones or not use at all. I have few mint here. I'm not going to slice it, but use the small leaves so they look beautiful. What mint does, especially in these, is prepare you for the next one. The taste comes the latest, and then that minty feeling, the after eight, the thing, it's cleans the mouth, and you're now ready for the next big great taste. It also does the same thing for the dessert. So I love using mint for the desserts. And finally, I put some, just small drizzle, not so much. Just dust it. If you put too much, it will dominate. 2 pinches maximum. And some sumac. If you do have sumac, use it. If you don't, no need to.
This is one of my favorite dishes of yours. The first time I ate this, I was really impressed and I was really amazed.
It looks like this. It's a feast. It took us 1 hour to shoot and hope it tastes so nice. Can I try it? I should remember. I haven't made this for a while.
Always the same, no? Always amazing.
The crunchiness, the sourness, the bitterness, and the hot. So good. Bahar.
I'm still a vegetarian, Refika. But for the good old days, I'm gonna eat this. That tomato sauce is phenomenal.
Every time I get surprised.
Wow. Good invention.
If you know where to find kadayif, please write it down. Let's say I'm from Texas and I buy my kadayif from here, so that other people who have no idea where to find kadayif can find it in your country. If you say, Refika, I don't have kadayif, you can use phyllo dough for the wrap and do the same thing. So if you like this video, please press like. That's the way you support us. Thank you. And that's how the word spreads. For now, this is it. See you next week.